Hi, welcome to Lesson 3-2, using mental math to multiply. Our learning goal is use mental math to make multiplication easier. The learning goals for today's lesson will be multiply by multiples of 10, 100, and 1000, and to use the multiplication properties to make multiplication easier. Our vocabulary will be product, the answer to a multiplication problem. Example, 7 times 8 equals 56. 56 is the product. Factors, the numbers you multiply together to get a product. Example, 7 times 8 equals 56. 7 and 8 are the factors. Multiples, a number that is the product of a given number and another number. So 9 times 1 equals 9. 9 times 2 equals 18. 9 times 3 equals 27. 9, 18, and 27 are all multiples of the number 9. Mental multiplication strategies. We talked a little bit about this one in yesterday's lesson of 1-3. Underline all of the non-zero digits in both factors. So for example, let's say we have 80 times 30. We would underline 8 and 3. We would multiply those underlined digits, 8 and 3 equal 24. And then we count the zeros in both factors of 80 and 30. There are 2 zeros. Write the amount of zeros after the product of the underlined digits. So we would write those 2 zeros after the 2 and the 4. So the product of 80 times 30 is 2,400. So let's take a look at this example. 50 times 46 times 2. All right, so if I look at this one and I want to use a mental multiplication strategy, I could multiply 50 times 2, which would give me 100. And then I could multiply 100 times 46. And this is where I could use the strategy of underlining the digits that have value, which would be the 1, the 4, and the 6. Multiply the 1 and 46 together. So I would get 46 times, and then I would go ahead, which I would get 1 times 46 is 46, and then I would bring down both of my zeros. So I would get 4,600. And that would be the product of 50 times 46 times 2. If you'll notice, when we talk about using the multiplication properties, I change the order. So I use the commutative property by multiplying 50 times 2 together first, and then I use our mental multiplication strategy to complete the problem. So let's practice using some mental math. Write down 20 times 50 times 9. And use some of those strategies that we've been working on the last couple of lessons to use mental math to find your answer. Please pause and hit play when you're ready to check your answer with me. Did you write down 9,000? In our mental math, the strategy I would use would be to multiply 20 times 50 using the underline the digit strategy. So if I have 20 times 50, I could underline the 2 and the 5 because those are the digits in the numbers that have value. 5 times 2 is 10. And then I would bring down the other 2 zeros, which is 1,000. Then mentally, I could multiply 1,000 times 9, which would equal 9,000. And I'm just writing that out so you can kind of see my thinking if I was to do this as a mental math problem. Okay, let's take a look at our next practice problem. Write down 4 times 34 times 5. Please press pause and take a moment to work out this problem using mental math. When you're ready to check, please press play. Did you write down 3,400? If you did, you are correct. If I was going to use a mental math strategy, I would multiply 25 times 4, which I know that that is 100. And then I would multiply 100 times 34. And I could use our strategy of underlining those digits that have value, multiplying those together, which would give me 34. And then I would bring both of these zeros down, and my answer would be 3,400. Our next mental math problem is 120 times 4,000. Please write this down and then take a moment to use your mental math strategies to work this out. When you're ready, please continue on to see if your answer is correct. Did you write down 480,000? If you did, you are correct. I would use our strategy of underlining the digits that have a value, which would be the 1 and 2 for 12 and 4. 12 times 4, I can do mental multiplication to know that that is 48. And then I bring down all of the other zeros that are left, which are 4 of them. And that gives me 480,000. We're ready for our challenge. A book publisher is shipping a new book in boxes of 200. So there are 200 books in each box. If 30 boxes fit in one shipping crate, how many books are in 20 shipping crates? Explain the mental math you use to solve the problem. Check your work in class tomorrow. In closing, please review your learning goals. Have you mastered all of them? Do you need to go back and review or practice more? In your journal, write down if you are at a 1, 2, or 3 in your learning. Way to go, you've completed lesson 3-2, mental math using multiplication. Congratulations, and we'll see you at school tomorrow.